Hello, everyone, and welcome back to whatever the name of this game is. We are here. I had 61 cards in my deck for some reason, so I took one out. It was a card that was bad. I forgot which one it was now. Shit. And of course, to make things much, much worse on us, we are starting with no music to start with because... Oh, there we go. But otherwise, because the game is a little bit weird about that sort of thing. Well, let's get ourselves into a fight right off the bat, why don't we? This guy's putting one of our terrors onto our ante, which is fine because he's playing a mono black deck also. In fact, I think this dude is basically playing kind of the exact same deck that we are. Obviously, we have a bunch of like Black Lotuses and shit that we found from places, so not the exact same, but on the other hand, you know, the same archetype basically. Immediately have... Yes, it is. Admittedly, that's kind of the energy that this deck sort of operates on some level. Oh, right, no, this dude plays basically Zombies Kindred, I think, actually, if not Shadow. Not Shadow the Hedgehog, but just... You know what I mean. See, that was a very efficient use of, regenerate. Oh, right, because his Zombie Master gives it regen. Because of reasons. You fool! I can't believe you're playing the exact same deck that I am, almost. And we pick up some... We can either take a couple of cards that are mostly pretty good, or we can take a dungeon clue that doesn't really give us access to a place that is very helpful to us. Unless there's something that exists in this game that gives us a very easy, repeatable artifact on tap to abuse with Time Vault. And I don't know if there is. Oh, hey, look, Sliver Queen. Wow, finally a sliver shows up, and it's one that actually is... So, I think some people might try to crucify me for my opinion about this, but low-key, out of the 5-color slivers, out of the Wooburg slivers, Sliver Queen is the worst. I'm actually totally fine with the fact that they don't reprint that anymore. I mean, I'm upset by it, but on the other hand, I'm totally fine with it. Also, this place is just fucking crawling with warlocks, apparently. Warlock, more like... I don't know, I don't have a joke here. Anyway, we'll crack Urza's Bauble right off the bat and take a look at this guy's Dothy Cutthroat. Can I show that in my... I can't actually show that in my big card over here, but we've seen that before, so... On the other hand, I guess we'll deal. Yeah, we'll drop our own Marauder, and we'll give him a buff. And I was gonna say, and just kind of bank on not having to worry about that, but that might not necessarily be the sort of case that we're in here. He killed our dude. Oh, he killed our other dude. Wow. That's rough, buddy. That is unfortunate. And to make matters worse, I'm pretty sure we had to ante an actually good card for this guy. So... Yeah, I think we're just kind of screwed here. Yep, we are definitely just kind of screwed here. Because he's got... Yeah, we had to we had to dump one of our creatures. That's unfortunate. If we can get into a fight with this guy again, he might give us another one back, although he's got Dothy Trapper instead, which is, like, not really very useful for our deck. Because how many shits do we actually give about giving a creature Shadow when we already have that as sort of our main deal here? Most of our guys already have Shadow. Ow. Be honest here, that's probably about what I should have expected to happen. So instead, we'll curse his land. Yeah, enjoy that, dude. Meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy drawing no cards. Oh yeah, there's Dothy Embrace, which we don't really need anymore. I could probably stand to trade that for something else, but I'm going to have to wait for something else to come along, I think. Well, there's a skeletal snake. That's kind of alright. We can make that evasive, and he's going to do the same with his zombie master. Man, you suck. I'm not surprised, but man, you suck. That is, however, pretty alright, because yeah, now we've both got this going on, but unfortunately, we kind of don't have a good way to get out of this. We just had no draws, so rest and rip, we lost another creature. I'm sorely tempted to reload after that. Vampirism, enchanted creature. Oh, right, yeah, that drains a buff from all of our other creatures, which is not good when most of our creatures are kind of X1, so yeah. Bit of a problem, and that is not very useful, so I'm the fuck out of here, I guess. As we get chased by this winged stallion here, who's almost definitely not going to have anything for us, but we have to take the fight because of reasons. Oh, yeah, using that would probably be a good idea, wouldn't it? He reveals an island sanctuary. Of course he does! That's his main thing that he does, is use that. Good. My back is going to be against the wall here, so that's fun. Alright, switch that thing to a 5-1 and go in for some damage here. Yep, no attack phase for us this turn. And he just does that. I'm actually quite happy about this. And by that I mean I'm not, but... I can't block that because... my dude... God. The beginning of each player's upkeep, Karma deals damage to that player equal to the number of swamps they control. Fuck. Not very happy about that, as you might be able to tell. Just want to put that out there. Because now I'm going to get burned every turn for 5 life. That's great. Said 5. Technically, I meant 3, but also, I mean, I take the extra 2 damage from Mana War, so. Oh, Bad Moon. That's good, actually. Now hold up. I want to do some I'm afraid I have to use math. Let me think this through. Funeral Charm on that. It becomes 2/2. Shallow Grave. Bad Moon. No. I have to do this the other way. Six. And just make that thing a 4/1, I guess. And go for it. Finally, we broke our fucking losing streak. Eish. As I get cards that are mostly good to sell. Although an extra quicksand is kind of nice. That is more removal. It's so, yeah, it is quite blaring. So you're not wrong to say that. That's right, you did some nerd shit pretty good, dude. Dun, 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 dun. Wall Blossom, that is a pretty nice card you've got there, buddy. But I have no real concern for trying to get that, so. French? Ugh. I mean. Yeah, let's do this, and sure. Meanwhile, this guy is basically just playing only defenders, which is great, because he's not adding any threat to the board. Although, that is a bit of a threat that he added to the board, to be fair. So, disregard whatever I just said, but we are going to hit it with the enfeeblement, so it's going to become only a 2/2 flyer. So now I don't give a shit. Although I would have been much happier if I'd drawn the land. Oh, he sacked both of his walls so that way he can hit me for 6. What? Oh my god, the AI is so stupid sometimes. It's a metaphor for generative. Anyway, he sacked his creature that would be getting buffs. You fool. Oh, he's casting ballots, that's why. Okay. Oh, is that lands first? Okay. I don't really care too much about quicksand. I don't really care too much about terror either, to be honest with you. And I guess we're dumping both of our creatures because we have to. Well. Their ass got sacked. Yes. Thankfully, we got a win condition. He just timed out during his upkeep. Great work. Good stuff. I love it when stupid things like that happen. And meanwhile, you've got nothing that really helps me here. So what can I shove anything into my deck to make it? Oh, right. The only shadow creature I have that I can put in there is Dothy Warlord, isn't it? So one thing about this game that is kind of strange, in case, for the folks here who don't know this too well yet. Unlike how in regular Magic you can have up to 4 of cards that aren't basic lands, because this game is sort of a bit of a roguelike in some level, at the start you're only allowed to have up to 3 copies of any of those cards, and then you have to acquire the ability to add more through other means. And meanwhile, my options for putting anything good in here are not very many at the moment. I mean, Cursed Flesh at least is kind of like soft removal a little bit. And it doesn't care about color. Because, for example, we will never have to worry about giving our creatures fear. Because our main creatures here are basically all creatures with shadow, so they already don't get blocked. Screw it, I'll put Stupor in there so I have some sort of utility card here. It couldn't do Temple. Okay, so that is actually the place that is being attacked right now by Blue Man Group. Unfortunately, it did kind of get got, so I'm gonna have to go there anyway. Fair enough. Spectral Arena. Alrighty, you've got some goodies. I mean, the Nightmare only half fits into our deck, and Lotus Veil is... Lotus Veil is a pain in the ass to use, to be perfectly honest with you. But Cruel Bargain, that is a shockingly good card. For 3 black mana, you draw 4 cards, but you lose half your life rounded up, which actually kind of functions just fine in a Suicide Black deck anyway, which is more or less what I'm playing, is that this is effectively that style of deck. Not literally, obviously, we don't have Necropotence or anything of that type, but it's a very similar concept where you just do not care about offense, or don't care about defense, rather, and you just hit them with the stupidest things you've got. Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. You just go ahead and keep doing that. I was gonna say eventually this guy's got to run out of removal cards, but so far that's not happening yet. Which is making this battle awfully tedious, but on the other hand, whatever. It took you that long to play a creature, and my hand is full of removal now. Flowstone Salamander. What's this thing do? Target creature blocking it. Get that thing out of here. Unfortunately, now I'm just not drawing very many things whatsoever. I'm going to hold on to Shallow Grave for a bit. Okay, Cave People is behaving wrongly. So it's supposed to get +1/-2 when it attacks, turning it into a 2/2. It's getting +1/+2 right now for some reason, turning it into a 2/6. I don't know what's up with that. Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, this guy's about to kill me. But that's fine. We didn't really put anything on the line here. This is just, hey, do we win or do we waste our time, basically? Which, I'm pretty okay with that as an option. Ooh, Sultari Lancer. I will take that. Where are we compared to where we need to be? Very nearby, actually. Getting menaced by this Archangel. Yeah, I'll just pay you off. Mind Stealer, however, ooh, is seeming like a bit of a gamble. Let's go for it. This will do. This has plenty of mana and some decent creatures in there. Oh, god dang it. Is he playing the... He copied my deck and I didn't see a message for it. Which also meant that he copied my opening hand, strangely enough. So he just popped Shallow Grave to get early damage when, realistically, I think you'd want to use that more to secure kills, but hey. I can just sit here and keep drawing lands all day, I guess. Oh, thank you. He played Coat of Arms for me. He stole my post. That's why I gotta fight him. Yeah, exactly. See, you get it. There's his bauble. Hey, take a look at my swamp. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's a swamp. Okay, so provided he doesn't do anything too bad here. Oh, he did play a Dothy Warlord. That's... well, shit. Yeah, we are unfortunately not getting out of this, I don't think. We're in a bad state here. Yeah, because he just swung that at me, so... I lost one of my good dudes, and there's... God, this area is just swarming with guys, so... Oh, Mournfen. That is... not a very good creature, but it exists. Sausage Fest. Yeah, a little bit. Except one of them was a skeleton wizard over there of some kind, so... you know, that fell off years ago. And he's starting to play his sacrifice for mana creatures. Yeah, I mean, hey, just go ahead and keep building up an army of these dudes that do nothing for you. That's fine. We'll play that, and now he's starting to actually attack and stuff. See, sacks a throw for his vampire hounds. They want to something or other here. Okay, that thing's gonna die this turn anyway. I'm gonna block his vampire hounds. Just sort of on the... yeah, I figured there was going to be a lot of damage coming in. Oh, gross. Can't attack if there's another creature on the battlefield. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 3 life. That is... sitting in the no big deal kind of area here. And okay, he's going to just exile Nightmare with Xiaoku. That's okay. The block is already declared, so I can pop Quicksand to eat his dogs. Yeah, dude, was it worth it? Unfortunately, I'm also sitting over here, like, dead. Very, very dead. Especially, he's got another creature there, so, yeah. I got robbed again. Cool. This deck is, to be fair, extremely high risk. But, man, I am getting kicked in the teeth constantly here. Got Swamp. They played one of those dudes. Sarcomancy. Like Quicksand, I guess. Fuck! Well, so much for that. Because I was going to use that to kill one of his creatures, but now I can't. You asshole. You suck, dude. I'm just going to concede and I'm going to reload because that was pretty cheap. Also, I swear, that guy is not the Necromancer graphic. That's the blue dude. Who's the, like, Fate Invoker or whatever it's called. And I see that he's playing Necropotence here. What an absolute classic of a... Blued, if you will. Yes, that. We'll play our Dothy Horror. Although, thankfully, this guy is, like, burning himself pretty badly because he's spamming Necro effects. Now, for those of you who are not very familiar, yes, Necropotence is infamously kind of one of the original best cards in Black. But also, it's one that will burn the hell out of you because, well, you're spending all that life to spend all that life. Thankfully, though, the fact that he's hurting himself so much means that the win is practically free. Now, this is not really the sort of position I like to be in, where I have to ante multiple cards to this guy, but, I mean, he's a dude who's got a base life total of 10. I'm pretty sure that this isn't going to be the worst thing anybody's ever seen. He is, however, starting with a Chronotog, which is a very interesting card just in general. So, I'll pull this up for anybody who has never seen this before. It's a 2-mana 1/2 that has 0. Chronotog gets +3/+3 until end of turn. You skip your next turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. So you might be saying, why would I ever use this? And there are very few situations where it is, like, sneaky good. If it would become a problem for you to start paying certain costs too much, but you want to keep a card out that absolutely cripples your opponent for a certain period of time. Stasis decks, for example, love Chronotog. And he is also stacking this thing all to somewhere or another with a very silly amount of things. Now, unfortunately, I am not able to eat this thing with my quicksand. Doing a little bit of thinking here. I can't kill this guy this turn, but I can play Cursed Land on him, and he is going to basically bleed out slowly. If he starts giving me the business in terms of his creatures, and this dude, Sakata Firewalker, this is a thing that's a huge problem for this deck. I mean, the sort of like soft pro red up here, I don't care about the fact that it can't be targeted by red spells. This, however, because critically, you'll notice that most of my creatures have 1 toughness. Because that was the sort of trade-off that they wanted to make Shadow be a less busted ability. Because otherwise, it's like, hey, this is a keyworded, this creature can't be blocked effect, which means the fact that it's keyworded means that it's probably used quite a bit. And it is, which is what I'm taking advantage of in this case. So, yeah, bit of a problem. Darkling Stalker. Why is this thing so expensive? It's not that good. It's like, okay, it's a shade, but it has regeneration. Like, big whoop, you've made a generic creature that has a slight extra effect tacked on. Cool. An American. I mean, yes. Obviously, obviously the bit here is that the answer to that is because of America, right? Every single time, it has immediately become our fault. Something, present-day politics, you know. You get what I'm getting at there. Actually, I'm gonna leave Cursed Flesh in there, but I'm gonna put one Vampiric Touch in and use that as a bit of burn for our purposes, because we could probably use the ability to burn our enemies without actually... You know, it seems like a useful expenditure of mana, basically. Sky Shroud Tower. You say that's to the west? I mean, technically it is, but it's also a bit more to the north, I feel like. Well, you could also just say both. Oh, I see Nick Cage is running at us. I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! You see, because the enemy type there is Vampire Lord, so... I've never seen that movie, but I also haven't seen a lot of movies, period, so... Yeah. Asmyra, you are... not worth selling, honestly. I mean, 3 mana for that effect seems a little much. Bloodlust is not very valuable, nor Blood Frenzy, nor Blood... Bronze Tablet is not gonna be a thing I sell, I don't think, even though I don't have a good use for it. I might eventually decide to try doing something funny. Speaking of something funny, I don't think Flash is actually going to be useful for us, unfortunately. I mean, in theory, but also... While this era is the time that put creatures with enter the battlefield effects on the map, such as Uktabi Orangutan is somewhere, and the infamous Necrotol, aka the 187 creature, that is, that's not a great card just yet, because they're still quite rare. Meanwhile, Reparations. This is a powerful card, but I almost kind of just want to dump it because it doesn't seem that crazy good. Sacred Mesa. I really don't need 2 of these, so I will happily dump 1. Grab a little bit more food because we need that in order to maintain our walking speed here. Let's fight this Bone Man. As he is. Bone Man! Nah, I'm actually going to keep that. It might be useful removal just in case this dude plays something disgusting. Such as, for example, we can Funeral Charm his zombie token and Curse Flesh it. Now, you might be thinking, hey, the Knight of Stromgald is a much worse creature, and you're right. However, it's not a zombie, so if I hit him with removing his zombie, the only zombie he has on the field, his Sarcomancy starts making him bleed out. So, we appreciate that, you know? Just hit him where it hurts. And hit him where it hurts. I was going to say, because of the rate this is going, but I shouldn't even dare open my mouth because, of course, and of course he's got Necropotence, but he's also not using it because he's too busy dumping mana into his Knight of Stromgald, and I am too busy not drawing any fucking cards. The classic. Yeah, they stole my Unholy Strength. Well, That's fine. I can get more of those. So let's go plunder a dungeon, and it is full of red fellas. And this big dude is blocking a treasure, so I'm gonna go for him now that we have our free Dothy Marauder, because that is a really good creature, actually. As he plays a Cinder Wall, which is, unfortunately for you, buddy, not really a thing of high value. That kind of hurts, though. I'll give you that. I don't enjoy that. So we will steal some life, and he's going to smash my Mox Jet. Boo! And play this Sneck. And enfeeble your Bloodrock Cyclops. Oh no, he's swinging for... Oh, he's got another one out. God damn it. Fuck. Well... Whatever, I guess I tank damage to my face. And I plop down the snake again to re-eat his Cyclops. And here, whatever that is in your hand, get rid of it. It's just a mountain. That's fine. I just had to make sure that it wasn't a real option. And unfortunately, this guy's just played an Org as his last creature, so he can't do anything. No playmakers for him, and we get a Mox Ruby. That is pretty nice. Although I don't know if we're going to build red. It does kind of depend. We get some life, and this place is swarming with dragons. 1 red and 3 colorless is... I want to say Reckless Ogre. Yeah, see, I just kind of guessed that one based on, like, card names a little bit. Reign of Chaos could have been either very high or very low. And Mog Infestation, I was like, that's goblins. That's probably not a thing I have to be too concerned about. That's either... Actually, it could have been that price, but I was gambling, as usual. Nice, we get some budget removal here. Unfortunately, I am sitting on all of one... Oh, I'm sitting on all of one land until I get that. Yes! Thank you! As he plays the Goblin Digging team here. Log Raider. Sack Goblin, target creature gets +1/+1. Okay. So, important part here. We start off by playing Dothy Warlord. I was like, why is it a 0/1 to start? But that's because there's no other creature that fits that effect on the battlefield. Okay, let's kill the Mog Raider, and he is not willing to sacrifice his Goblin Digging team to save it. I accept that heartily. Unfortunately, I really wish that I had... Oh god, he's got more Goblin Kings. Oh jeez. Oh boy. Oh, I'm getting completely fucked here because I have only the 1 land. Well, we lost our Tar Pit Warrior. I want to reload, though, because I don't like that I lost access to that dungeon. Oh, yeah, I'm all the way back here, right, where this Necromancer is about to ambush me. So now we get to go through a bit of a reset roulette again here. The classic. I love it when this happens. Dude, discard a card. That's fine. I mean, it's kind of not because I don't have any plays right now. But we do get our haunts going. And he used that. Okay. I mean, fair enough, but also, fuck you. He just had to make absolutely sure, huh? We'll take them all, and I'm perfectly fine leaving another funeral charm on top of my library here. Because let's just make this guy discard as much shit as we can. In that case, and he plays 2 Sarcomancy. Ooh, what I wouldn't give for a board wipe right now. And I'll play Dothy Horror. And he plays a shadow creature of his own. Well, shit. They trade. And he plays Necropotence. Come on. Do something funny, dude. Unfortunately, he did not do something funny. Maybe I can goad him into doing more self-destructive behavior. And the answer is no. Come on. Oh my good god, he's activated it 7 times. That was funny as hell. Unfortunately, funny doesn't win me an actual game here, so we're just gonna dodge this dude, and we're going to, once again, try to arm wrestle this random blue player and his Chronotog. Now, thankfully, I have plenty of things that can just eat counterspells. That's okay, too. Intruder Alarm. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. All right. Very interesting. You pervert. Get that thing out of here. Thank goodness he discarded that. I'm beyond glad that he was just like, yeah, I need to dump this Cicada Firewalker as he plays another one. Well, Disco Biscuits. That's okay. I've got the win anyway, because Coat of Arms is doing what it usually is supposed to do. Which is to say, actually work. And thankfully the shop this time was a different set of things, so we get ourselves a Dothy Horror. Yes, we get some more... We get some more dudes. Hell yeah. So, let's save now. Because we've got a bunch of nonsense going around here, huh? South of Self-Fury and Haven. Sure, why not? I was gonna say, that's the egg-shaped thing on the map, I believe. We'll do this Enchantress. Oh no, I get to put the haunts up on the line. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I'm sure that we'll make it out of here just fine. Probably. Alright. Drop our Troll Warlord here. And off to work we go. Let's eat that thing and give Bro an Unholy Strength. Fugitive Druid. That is... Oh, I did not remember this card. This is pretty good, actually. Although I think nowadays there are better creatures that are just like aura caddies. Which is kind of more like saying there are other creatures that do that. Core Spirit Dancer is the one that I usually think of. And excuse me. Oh, goodness. Okay, so now that we're here again, we want to sell... There's something we wanted to dump here. Oh, yes, I wanted to... Oh, God, that is worth so much less. Because it's a different shop. I don't care anymore. You know what? Sliver Queen, leave. You're dismissed because, honestly, not that good of a card. Let me pick up the Sultari Visionary and Sultari Foot Soldier. Just because I might decide to try to build slightly differently. Zalfirin will reward me with any sorceries. That would actually be kind of good. Righteous War. This is a pretty funny card. White creatures you control have protection from black. Black creatures you control have protection from white. That's really all they could think of back then, huh? Yeah, old... The old dual color cards were really not good because they hadn't nailed down what exactly the identity of the two color combinations were. Outside of places where it was these ally colors, as they like to refer to them, or often get called, where it was white blue, blue black, black red, red green, and green white. And that is what they had figured out how to do stuff with. The other five, so white black, black green. Hold up, I need to remember to tap Moxjet for that. Green blue, blue red, and red white. They still hadn't figured out. Red, white of Blue Corp was not exactly supported in the early part of the game, you know? Rest in rip to one of the... I'd say one of the goofiest guys from Ace Attorney, but, like, how do you choose? Everyone in those games is kind of a clown. Right, give me that. And a duplicate card. Give me that. Thank you very much, dude. As I get to look through here and go, oh, yeah, actually, like, most of our stuff is kind of already at a number that I like. But also, I don't recall how many Marauders we have. Do we have... I assume we have two. Where's my Black Lotus, actually? Because I've got only two of those, for sure. Alright, come back here. We get some sorceries. We can find some black cards. Do we have anything here that's a kill spell? Do they do the -X to all creatures yet? Yep, Dry Spell. That's kind of weak, but it does technically work. Ooh, Carvex Hex. That is very weak, but it technically does what I want it to. I guess. Touch of Death, that is not at all what I'm thinking of. Vampiric Feast is 7 mana for that. Oh, that's awful. Mind Revel, Mind Rot, Mind Warp, Nature's Ruin, Nausea. Oh, I mean, that kind of... That's kind of what I would want. Not quite, but kind of. At that point, Ashes to Ashes is stronger. You know what? I'll take nausea. It's not really what I'm looking for exactly, but I think that if I want more removal in general, I'm gonna have to find other places to get it. So, yeah, for now, that's all we're doing over there. I'm probably going to save and challenge that dungeon again in a minute or two. Meanwhile, let's go beat up this nerd. And drop Bad Moon and take a look at this guy's hand. Or one card in it. Wow, you've got a basic land in there. Wow, real cool, man. I never would have guessed. But we get our Warlord on the go, so we're getting places early here. And we need to remove Urtai as soon as possible because that level of repeatable counterspell? Absolutely not. We should not allow that dude to have access to that. Now, thankfully, I don't care too much about Cicada Firewalker because I have Bad Moon in play. My guys cannot be touched by that. Instead, I'll take the damage, but I can live with that. Although that's kind of annoying, so let's dust that guy real quick and evacuation. Okay. That's fine. Instead, I'll play my horse. My evil and intimidating horse. Go to combat and do some business. Give me your lunch money. And by lunch money, I mean time warp. Actually, is that worth anything? I'd probably keep it because if I were to play blue, I mean, time warp is pretty alright. His East Note time walk, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers or something. That's not the guy I'm looking for, but okay. Let's make this happen anyway. And I mean, plus, we get this for a start. So it's hard not to like that. And it's hard not to like the ability to do that. So we've put this guy on a clock of his own making. Never mind, he played Dothy Ghoul. Never mind, he's still, like, super dead. Whatever, let's just be rude about it, right? And I'll play Dothy Embrace, even though it's not very useful here. Tombstone Stairwell. Oh my god, that card has an essay for rules text. Cumulative upkeep, 1 in a black. At the beginning of each upkeep, if Tombstone Stairwell is on the battlefield, each player creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token with haste named Tombspawn for every creature card in their graveyard. At the beginning of each end step, or when Tombstone Stairwell leaves the battlefield, destroy all tokens created with Tombstone Stairwell. They can't be regenerated. So that didn't go off for some reason. Which is okay, because that just gives us a free win. I will take those. And I will be most unimpressed with the card selection there. Excuse me. Okay, I've got another enfeeblement in here, so I can take that and I can remove a terror. There aren't a huge amount of creatures that are, like, bigger than X2 most of the time. As you may have noticed or not. Let's do this. Let's fight this, this Akujin here. Yes, just go ahead and hurt yourself, dude. Anything to make my life even easier. Mind twisting me for 2. Well, that could have gone better. Broken Visage was not going to do anything for us, though, so that part is okay. Cloud Chaser Eagle enters the battlefield, destroy target enchantment. There are no viable targets for you to do that with. Well, on top of that, as long as one of this guy's main mana sources is City of Grass, then that does make our life... Unfortunately, he played this Spiritual Guardian guy, so... I'm going to debuff it, even though that doesn't really matter, just to slow down its damage a little bit. It's not like we're ever going to be worrying about blocking this thing anyway. Unfortunately, I do need to draw real cards and not just land. Hey, we get a horse. Armageddon, huh? Ooh! Wait, what do you mean? Do you actually have the... Well, I think he probably does have the mana for it, but... Oh... Well, so much for our win here. We lost the snake. Snake! Etc. Sends the serpent to attack Zakata Haven. Yeah, I'll pick up the Karavex Hex. Since that did say non-black creatures, I believe, so that's actually right up our wheelhouse. And... by my own admission, I am taking a little bit of a gamble with this, but play Bad Moon and play Dothy Warlord. You gotta believe in the system here, you know? And believe we did, and we were rewarded for it, at least for now. Oh, we are so getting rewarded here. And player Dothy Marauder. Swinging for 7. And Funeral Charm to make this guy discard a card. As he discards Staunch Defenders. Buddy, you made a choice there, that's for sure. That could have kept you alive. And you could have played it, too, for that matter. So, hey. Give me that free win. And Ashen Powder. Ooh, Janu Nefrit. That is a not terribly common card. Zalfiran Village. Which way was that? See info. Assume it was this way because we didn't go that far, right? Ah, the evil and intimidating horse is back. And play Urza's Bauble and take a look at this guy's Light of Day. And unfortunately, I can't actually read the card, but that's all right. Nice Tundra you got there, buddy. We'll cast Blight on it. Make this dude have a bad time. All right, now let's make sure that I've read this card correctly. Yes, each non-black creature. So that is, in fact, a very good way for us to sweep random weenies off the field. Target graveyard is a creature card. Okay. I got you. Well, rather, target player's graveyard. There is something that I think says target graveyard, or it might be just target library, but it's not that, as you've probably guessed. Karma. Oh, that is awful. Plus, on top of that, I'm just gonna end up sitting here drawing a bunch of garbage, aren't I? Yeah, I think I'm basically dead as a consequence of that. I mean, not only am I drawing this many swamps... Fine, take that guy. How upsetting. As banding is Banalish Hero. Yeah, Karma is a huge blowout for mono black decks. Especially due to the complete lack of enchantment removal. Remember, this is far enough back that that's not a thing yet. For black. Black doesn't get enchantment removal yet. It does at a later part of the game's history, but right now, not so much. Not so much. Also, this dude is beefy. That life total, holy crud. He's got Mana Flare in hand. Cool. And we draw our Warlord. It's a very useful 1 damage to target creature. Well, I think you chose poorly, actually, dude, but hey. Hit that. He pitches Mana Flare and Spitting Earth, which... that I'm pretty okay with. That I'm pretty unhappy with. And now I get to sit here for a while. Gothy Ghoul, and... it's exiled at the beginning of the next end step. Damn, I wish it died the regular way. You know? That'd be quite helpful. Oh, right, of course that costs less. It's because Mana Flare is in play. Well, whatever. We'll cast Shallow Grave. Once again, using it aggressively, which is what I have it there for. Drops a Flowstone Wyvern, and I am going to... I'm going to cast Carevex Hex. And let's see how bad this dude tries to kill my evil and intimidating horse. Oh, I do not care about that, my guy. That thing still dies all the same. Because thanks to Mana Flare, everything is super cheap. Ooh, Warlord. That is a pretty good start, even though it's not my best creature to be the first thing on the field. But it does what I need it to, so that's fine. Honestly, starting with Tar Pit Warrior would probably be better, but hey. Yeah, Straw Golem in play. That is most unfortunate. That's quite painful, actually. Well, so much for your Straw Golem. Got a lot of good that thing, did you? No Rod. Oh, No Rod is a funny, funny card. But thankfully for us, it doesn't do anything to us right now. Because we have a Jet Medallion in play. We don't have any Moxen. Swing for a win. And we do, in fact, get the win. Wow. Ooh, Tar Pit Warrior to start with. That might actually be our best start, especially if we were to go first, which unfortunately we don't. But it does kind of mean that this dude can just target it with anything that pokes, basically. And we would have a little bit of sadness in our hearts. Yeah, like that. He'll just kindle it and it's dead. Hey, dead. Play that and just keep swinging. Ah, rude. Well, here, have that. That's how I'm feeling about this. Well, man, if you want to keep just removing my creatures and yet not having giving yourself a board presence, then whatever. See if I care. Because I kind of don't. And there's Brainstorm instead of the Mox Ruby that we got first last time. Ooh, that is guarded by a Hydra. Let's go for it. Let's take the gamble. It's a bit of a pity about Marauder being our thing that we have to offer up there, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Swing. I was going to say, hope he doesn't kill it right away. And now that we've crossed the threshold on that one. Well, dang. If nothing else, maybe the Tar Pit Warrior will be a pretty decent piece of bait for his removal, so that way instead of targeting Dothy Ghoul or something. Chaotic Goo enters the battlefield with 3 at the beginning of your upkeep. Flip a coin. You win the flip, put a counter. If you don't, if you lose, remove 1. Huh. They love handing over those weird coin flip oriented cards to red. And there's our Mox Ruby. We're gonna leave, actually. I was gonna say we can leave, and ultimately I decided, yeah, I would. Anyway, this guy's got a dog with him! Anting a Dothy Warlord doesn't matter, because if we lose that, we have more. Oh, that's Cursed Flesh, not Cursed Land. And if I read the whole card name, that might help. Enfeeblement, targeting his bears. Duh, bears. Discard his Carnacid, which is great because Carnacid is actually kind of a pretty good card for this era. That thing can hurt us quite a bit. That is not a great creature to see on the battlefield. Mongrel Pack, that is very potent. And unfortunately, we have, like, no playmakers on the field here. And then we draw... Then we draw a Jet Medallion when we're at fucking 6 lands. 6 lands and a Mox Jet. That's absurd. I don't want to deal with this guy. For a variety of reasons. Where were you? Didn't I have... Oh, did he take it out of my inventory instead? Fuck. That's weird. Okay, now we can put Nausea in there. Juju Bubble. That is not a good card. To an almost infamous extent, really. An Oasis of Reflecting Pool. You may trade your... No, I don't need 5 extra life in just the next duel. Shapeshifter, guarding a horde of valuable spells. Well, we know that Righteous War is good money. Clockwork Beast is kind of shit, if I recall correctly. It actually might be efficient power for this era. I could be wrong. Alright, play Dothy Horror and proceed. Go down to Warlord and move to combat. Play Bad Moon. And then play Stupor. And this guy is just losing a bunch of cards. Alright. That's pretty good. Especially if he's going to just start throwing out the Urzatron lands. That is a huge amount of mana that's lost. Oh, Polymorph. Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of a buff, actually. Nice. A very easy fight for us. Yeah, Mindstealer has mind control, so he's playing our deck. And perhaps more upsettingly, he does get our opening hand. Or at least that definitely seems to be how that bullshit works. Blight one of your swamps. Play Dothy Ghoul. He's got Tar Pit Warrior on the go. Ooh. Alrighty. But I don't care that much. Let's kill that thing. I mean, truth be told, in theory, it might have been smarter to target the... Man. Ugh. I was going to say, it might have been smarter in theory to target the Tar Pit Warrior. And in the end, perhaps it actually was, so... But it's gone now, so good enough for me. Play Black Lotus. That gives us 9 mana. And we push our Dothy Mercenary to 7. And that did it for us. Excellent. I get a duplicate card. Cool. God, I wish I could actually read any of this shit worth anything, but hey. We'll be happy about it anyway. Give me another mercenary. We obtained 2 blue amulets. The card I actually kind of want to get more, I think, is Dauthi Slayer, which, because it's a 2/2. So it has to attack every turn, but big whoop. I was probably going to do that anyway. I just want something that has some survivability. Yeah, see, that card's not good, so it just immediately goes right in the trash. Right in the trash. Reign of Terror is not a particularly strong wipe. Also has a great tendency to just hurt us very severely, so... Actually, Stark, I don't think I need guy, but... Is there something else that I was like, yeah, it's worth dumping, and I forgot what it was. Oh, I didn't sell one of the Sacred Maces yet, because the price was so bad elsewhere. That's the one I was looking for, was Righteous War. That is not worth using, basically, at all. So now we save, and we go back to the explorating here. Zhalfirin Haven, they will give us some extra life. That is pretty nice. Urza's Avenger, yet another card with a massive essay, but I think most of that is explaining what banding does. Lost City of Care, take half my amulets. Wow, rude. You gave me a fucking ants instead. Wow, so cool. Also, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to escape from this dude, so... I have to gamble another Dauthi Warlord here. Oh, thank goodness you got rid of that. I am so glad. I'm a little less happy about the Soltari Monk, but... that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Thankfully... yeah, Dauthi Horror can't be blocked by white creatures, so... That's fine. He's got an Order of the White Shield. Which means that he can damage race me better. I should have played the Quicksand. I wasn't thinking. But we've got that now, so we can deal with his Order of the White Shield. And he can kill our creature because it doesn't have protection from white. It just can't be blocked by white creatures. Now that thing has pro-black, and I don't need this many swamps, man! As he plays fucking 3 of these things, and I legitimately just kind of got mugged there. Like, that was the game just saying, by the way, we're taking this from you. For, truth be told, very little good reason. Ironheart Chimera. Right, so the Chimeras are an interesting set of creatures from this era that you can basically just kind of stack them on top of each other. There are benefits to this, because sometimes you just need a really big creature to beat over your opponents. But a lot of the time, it's not as good as all that. Abandoned Shrine. Nettletooth Djinn guarding a lot of very fun black cards. Plus, again, we wager nothing except for wasting our time a little bit, which, you know, that's barely even a thing. as this dude plays like all the fast mana you've ever seen in order to bring out an Uktabi Ifrit. Let's force a discard here. Good, he got rid of a Man of War. That's helpful. Meanwhile, he's got an extremely threatening creature, but at least in theory, he might end up in a position where he can no longer pay for it. Unfortunately, I think he's not going to be in that position, but yeah. So that was a really fast game because he unfortunately got a little bit more land there. So you know what? It happens. I don't know what else I can say about that. How angry can I really be? And the answer is absolutely fucking furious, but let me be serious for a moment here, because we didn't have to wager anything. And like I said, the worst we lose is like 1 minute of time. Power 4 is Elvish Ranger. Nice, we get to buy you out of the deal. That's pretty good. I'm feeling like I can take on this Priestess reasonably easily. This shouldn't be too bad, right? I mean, if I continue to get good draws like this, then we're going to be in... Oh. Oh, you have the same deck that I do. Right. But you didn't copy my opening hand, apparently. Maybe you did. Swing. Oh, right, because I only have 3. Never mind. I'm stupid. Doing my math wrong. Alright, swing the ghoul. That's extremely unfortunate, but... Broken Visage, and... kill the Warlord, because it does do the most damage to us. Shallow Grave. And play Dothy Horror, I guess, just to boost the Warlord a little bit more. Because, really, why not, right? Oh. Go away, dragon. I'm not interested. Fine, you can take some of my money, I guess. Happen upon a dragon's lair. Oh, speaking of dragons, well, we get to fight one now, but this time we don't have to put anything on the line. So, I'm a little bit happier to do that. Here, discard a card. You discarded Undiscovered Paradise. Oh well. Play a horror and discard Broken Visage. Oh my god, you have that many cards in hand? Yeah, sack that thing too. Play Jet Medallion and pass turn. Now, could you leave this alone this time? So that way I could actually use it for, mostly for casting Cursed Land. Play a Canopy Dragon. Alright. That's a big boy. We're going to enfeeble that in order to just debuff it a bit here. Play Warlord. Swing for 2. And pass the turn. Play that. We'll drop Doth the Embrace as well, because that will be useful while that thing is tapped. There gains X life. Yeah, you're targeting yourself for 2 life. Okay. Here, let's give that thing Shadow, so that way I basically pay 2 mana to give my board +2/+2. And why not? We will attach Cursed Flesh on there as well. And that went by so fast. The dragon died from Cursed Land. That threw me off a little bit too, but yeah. Excuse me. Akujin is not that good. I'm going to sell that. Ashen Powder is one that is potentially kind of fun, but I don't know if I have a good space for it in the deck. Oh, you fuck right off, dude. I'm not interested in you. We got ourselves another Elder Druid. Get. Actually, Doth the Embrace is not useful, so I'll take this one. This could be worth it. Funeral Charm on the Ebon Dragon. Eben Dragon. He's Vampiric Tutoring. As one does. Neither of us have, like, any playmakers, so that's fun. Ah, he's wheeling. Well, interesting set of cards we got there. So I'll start out with 1 Jet Medallion, 2 Jet Medallion, play Black Lotus, Cursed Land on your island, and Doth the Warlord. And he's using Animate Dead on Hidden Horror. Sack it unless you discard a creature card. He discards Cloud Dragon. I'll play the Evil and Intimidating Horse. He's Ancestral Recalling. It's perhaps to be expected. And he plays Ebon Dragon. We pitch that, I guess. Turn that thing into only a 2/3. As he plays another Hidden Horror, discards an Odilic Wraith. Deals damage to a player. That player discards a card. Interesting. Embassy Tome. Pay 5 mana to draw 2 cards and discard a card. Okay, then. Okay, then. Alright, let's do this. And he plays an Owl Familiar. Draw and discard. So here's my question. Does this dude have an effect that likes having a lot of stuff in... Well, he's got Animate Dead. I mean, that much is clear. But I meant other than that. Firestorm Hellkite. 6/6 Flying Trample. Cumulative Upkeep. Well, at bare minimum, he can't beat over that thing. He can't beat over our Nightmare with that thing, so that's good. Even if we continue to draw no other cards but lands. I'd say maybe I have too much mana in this deck, but I do, in fact, not have... I am not drawing any of my artifact mana sources, you know? done. I can't really respond to that, so. Bad Moon. I like that because it accelerates our process of winning here. Sacks the dragon. He time walks. And he draws a boatload of cards. He plays another MSI Tome. Oh no, he just activates MSI Tome. Never mind. I'm being stupid here. But thank goodness he set himself up for failure. So we can grab this huge pile of cards. I can get my extra life total. And I can grab... Oh, yes! Oh my goodness, those are both real good. Terror, get out of the deck. Where is Diabolic Edict? That is an incredible card. And this Tar Pit Warrior can... This Tar Pit Warrior can go kick rocks. Let's get our Dothy... Oh, that's a mercenary. I was like, wait a sec. My brain shut off a little bit at some point, I guess. I'm gonna pull a swamp from here because... I said... What do you mean 62... What? What didn't add a card there earlier? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 30, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 60. So, why is it telling me the wrong number? Unconsolidate those real quick. 6. Yeah, so it's 60 cards. All right. Fine. I just was slightly thrown off a little bit because something about that was very ended up being very odd, basically. Unerring Sling deals damage equal to the tapped creature's power to target attacking or blocking creature with flying. Unfortunately, not as useful as I would like. West to Wildfire Glade, and they will give us a red amulet. I mean, that would let us use the shoot people ability with our staff. Yeah, give me that. Then we go in here, and we can... We can do some updates to our deck pretty soon, I believe. I think I'm going to dump Escape Shapeshifter. It's not that good. Thinking about it more. Sarcomancy. That is worth a good chunk of money, but I don't really like it that much, so that can go. I still have actual cards that I could put that effect to use with. No, because I lost one of my warlords. south of Zalfiran Haven. Go find that big weird egg. Not that big weird egg. It's a different big weird egg. Oh god, it is a ways away. And I forgot to buy food. Whoops. Alright, let's fight the Centaur Shaman and see what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with, quite frankly, me not drawing a good hand, so... Yep, so much for your ramp. Unfortunately, now I have to sit here and wait to draw a creature. There we go. That will do. Give me a buff on that Dothy Marauder as well. Whatever, I take 1 damage from that thing. That's fine. What's in your hand, anyway? A Lurgoyf. Lurgoyf. The Goyf. Big Bill Hell. That motherfucker. Whatever you want to call it this week. Spike Feeder. Oh, that thing's gross looking. And you're gonna get a little bit of life back. That's to be expected. Animate dead, returning Spike Feeder, and... Alrighty then. That was a lot of stuff that happened, but that's okay. We still kind of have this one. Swing in and take this big pile of crap and have a crash. Great.